Diane Sawyer uncovers whether the Me Too movement is ignoring regular women in the workforce. Plus, it's Feel Good Friday on View Your Deal. And Anthony Scaramucci's back to guest co-host. Let's fire up Friday Hot Topics with Joy Behar, Sarah Haynes, Paula Ferris, and Sunny Hostin. Now, let's get things started.
To The View. Megan is off today. She's with her dad, and she'll be back on Monday. And back to guest host today is the fabulous, the lovely and talented Anthony Scaramucci.
I like pain. I like pain.
He says to me just before the show, "Oh, this is a show for women?" Yeah.
I said, Joy, this is a show for women, about women, with women?
Yeah.
When were you going to tell me that, Joy?
I know, but we have some men. As you can see, there's a smattering.
Yeah, there's a couple of them. There are at least three here. Thank you for coming.
Or four.
Help me out, fellas, okay? I can see the two of you right here.
Anthony, no pressure. Your wife's right in the front row, by the way.
And there's Mr. Scaramucci is sitting right there. She won't let him out of her sight. Okay. The Justice Department released memos that James Comey kept of his conversations with Trump. This is the news today. One of the juicier tidbits is Trump saying that Putin told him Russia has the most beautiful hookers in the world. Well, you know, it's nice to see Donald Trump promoting Russian tourism, not to mention the clap. I have a question.
Sarah liked that one.
I have a question. Didn't Trump say that he never spoke to Putin?
That was my understanding.
Well, there was one phone call. This must have come up on that one phone call.
Yeah.
I mean...
Yeah, the details are fuzzy as to when that happened, the conversation happened.
Well, but we all know that, you know, Trump bends the truth often.
He bends the truth?
Yeah.
You mean the lies?
Yeah.
Say it.
I mean, well, the Washington Post found in his first year of the presidency, they documented 2,000 misleading statements or lies. So...
Style that is unique and very different. And you guys obviously some of you don't like it, but what he does is he does embellish stories. There's no question about that. If you read Scott Adams' book, Win Bigly,
Yeah, I've read
he talks about how he does it and why he's doing it. Now, you may not may disagree with it, you may not like his style, but there is a methodology to what he's doing.
Well,
as it relates to Putin, just so you know, he talked to him 4 times by telephone before he met with Comey. So maybe it came up in the conversation, maybe it didn't.
But Thomas Jefferson said you cannot have a republic based on lies.
Yeah.
The great Thomas Jefferson, whom I dated. I'm just saying. The guy...
You weren't the only one dating him, apparently.
No.
But don't you agree with Scott Adams specifically? He talks about the genius of the persuasion to get people to do what you want. There's a skill behind it. But that doesn't necessarily mean that the end result is beneficial to the people being convinced.
So now we're talking about content and style. Okay, and now you have to step away. The Trump supporters, okay, I'll explain that to you. They're looking at him and saying, okay, the content, we're not always in love with the content. We're not always in love with the Twitter. We're not always in love with the style of that behavior. But let's look at the policies that are being implemented and let's look at what's happening.
But he's the president of everyone. He's not just the president of Trump supporters. And I don't want to be lied to as an American citizen from the president of the United States.
You know, they always put me on Sonny's left because my right ear is deaf. You know, But I understand that. And so what we have to do is, look, I've spoken out about it. People have asked me. I said the president should end the war on the media. The White House should get out there more. He's been on this show. And, you know, you've had him on the show many times. He's boxed in now to 1 or 2 networks where he's willing to go out and have interviews. I think that's not the right thing for the American people.
It's not.
And then you can challenge him on that, and he can explain his point of view. At the end of the day, he's up for re-election. He's already announced that. He's got to win moderates and independents if he wants to be re-elected, and he's got to come out and express that voice.
And maybe tell the truth.
In venues like this.
I don't think he's going to change his style.
Not going to change his style.
No.
He's going to be 72 on Flag Day, June 14th. He's not changing his style.
What do you think about the veracity of those salacious allegations in the dossier, particularly that had to do with the Russian
pee-pee tape
prostitutes? Because he allegedly asked Comey to look into this, right?
Also called the tinkle tape. You know,
okay, whatever you want to call it. But he allegedly asks Comey to look into this. Why would you ask especially the FBI director, to look into something if you're guilty of it?
Especially if you...
Do you believe it, though?
Why would you ask somebody to look into something when you know it's not true?
Okay, so
well, that's the thing. If you're not guilty of it,
difficult to prove a lie.
Well, I think that's the point. I think he's probably a little defensive. Been hit from all sides when you run for president.
Yeah, that's what the tape said too.
I just said, look, I only have a minute left in this segment, but I want to ask you. I want to ask you.
This has turned into.
I just want to ask you this one question, because Michael Cohen, they're saying that Michael Cohen, who you know who he is, right? I don't have to explain everything. He could turn on Trump. Do you think he will?
I don't think there's anything for him to turn on. So.
Oh, really?
I don't think so. No.
He's been his lawyer.
The FBI just raided his office for giggles?
No, hold on a second. It may not be related to the president. And so, and I think.
Maybe it's Sean Hannity.
Well, listen. On Thursday, Rod Rosenstein told the president that he was not the target of that investigation.
Not yet.
Not yet, at least.
Not yet.
Come on,
right,
you know
so,
that a subject of investigation can very easily turn into the target of investigation. It can happen in hours.
I do know that, but you have to understand the level of care. You know, I talked to Rudy before I came on the show. I had lunch with Governor Christie earlier in the week. The threshold.
What a group.
My peeps. Joy also happens to be Italian, like the three of us.
I would throw up that lunch in 2 seconds with those two.
I would make lasagna for you.
Here's the thing. I think you would turn because you're too pretty to end up in jail.
Me. Bizarrely take that as a compliment.
We'll be right back with more Hot Topics.
Next week on The View, the hot topics are sizzling, and anything goes with Tracy Morgan.
I am a lawyer.
Plus, Sting and Shaggy, Dr. Phil, and look who's back. Oh, it's me. Candace is back at the table. Next week on The View.
The ABC icon Diane Sawyer is here to talk about her special on sexual harassment. So we'll talk about that in a little while with her. But for us, it's reported that both Matt Lauer and Louis C.K. are testing the waters for comebacks. I mean, is this too soon? Will anyone ever forgive Harvey Weinstein for what he did to women and potted plants?
Never.
This is so tough. I've talked to a lot of men about this, and they say that their big concern is there's no due process in all of this. And we have become a society where we are literally cheering for people's ruin instead of people's rehabilitation. And that's my issue with it. Like, I think life is about second chances. By the grace of God, there go I. But determining when is too soon, I don't have the answer for that. And I don't know if
there is
we
one
should
answer
cast
that fits all either.
Right.
Well, I just, you know, I believe in forgiveness, of course, but we're talking about abuse of power. So, you know, if these men who abuse their power are just allowed this comeback, what does that say about the fact that they took that power and, you know, abused it and prevented victims from attaining positions, from you know, their careers. So now I feel like you're discarding the victim's experience.
Can you have I think there's a difference between a professional comeback and a personal comeback. I think we should always give people the grace to have a personal comeback, but a professional comeback, I think it'd be hard for a lot of people to see these.
Professional comeback.
It'd be hard for people to see them again. Yeah.
One of the problems, if you just really step back, we are working on prison reform. It's literally one of the only bipartisan things where the Koch family and President Obama and Michelle Obama are working together to try to figure out a way to stop people from going to jail or commuting their sentences or stopping recidivism. And so at the end of the day, we as a society, we believe in forgiveness, we believe in redemption. And so for me, these guys did terrible things. So I'm not here excusing it at all, but we really have to think about it as a society. When we allow people to get rehabilitated, they have children, they have families, they have to go back to work and provide for
And the
people.
women that they harass need to also keep their jobs. Maybe sue the harasser.
Article we read, I thought it was an interesting solution where they said many of these men need to come out publicly because this played out publicly.
Yeah.
And I think that, if I were to see an interview with some of these abusers, I would have a better time making my own call. Like if I heard them speak, you know, you can watch something and believe it or say,
Look, a job is not a right, it's a privilege. And when you abuse that privilege, I don't know that you then get the opportunity to have that sort of position again.
Well, maybe not that position.
That position.
But they should be able to work somewhere in our society.
Well, there's always McDonald's for Matt Lauer.
Yeah.
Sure. You know, I was going to say, not that that's a bad job, but from where the kind of money he was making.
Not a position of power.
What I was going to say is, what about the comedians? You know, there's a Louis C.K. specifically. I know him. I would have never thought that he would do something like that. I think that he will make a comeback. He will be on the road again being funny.
No question.
Because I think that the comedian, first of all, they talk about masturbation constantly in their acts anyway.
But he did it.
Yeah, but I know he did, and that will be, it's kind of gross, but I think that Louis will make a comeback. He will make up some kind of an act that will incorporate what he did, and it'll be funny again. Watch.
Do you think we would be more forgiving of a comedian?
I don't know. I'm
Is that a double standard,
predicting.
though?
It may be, but I'm predicting that he will come back. I'm predicting that Matt might not, and neither will Charlie Rose.
Not in the positions they were once in.
I mean, take Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby, after more women than are in this audience accused him of sexual harassment and everything else, worse. He was on the road doing his act.
I don't know that I would go see it.
No, that doesn't mean you have to go.
So people will have to, I think,
make that decision on their own, like what they're okay with and what they're comfortable with.
Okay, we'll be right back. Cheat? That's the question a dating website for extramarital affairs asked over 8,000 of its male clients, and they got back answers like, when my wife asks too many questions. Really?
Hey, that's called marriage.
Yeah.
I know.
I know.
They have jealousy, never explaining what they want.
Frequent mood swings.
One of them is wanting to share food at restaurants. I would hate to think that my husband is cheating on me because I stole some of his chicken. I mean, come on.
That's one of the things that they don't like it when we share food with them.
But which way? Like they don't want to share theirs, or they want to eat
They
yours?
don't want you sharing your food, their food with you. They don't want that.
My husband hates that. My husband hates it when I take any food off.
I have to take a male position on one thing, though. Women talking about their sex lives with their girlfriends. It's not nice to say, oh, my husband cries when he has an orgasm.
Yeah.
That's too mean.
Yeah, I don't think you should
That's
do that.
wrong. Don't you think? That's so
I
wrong.
don't think you should.
Yeah.
I thought men cheated because they didn't feel validated.
I thought they just weren't getting any.
Mucci?
That's what I thought. I thought maybe
Give us the male point of view here.
I'm still obsessed on the one about being obsessed with their man's height. I'm trying to figure out what that means. But,
What is that? They think he's too short?
Yeah.
Or too tall?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure out. But here's what I would say. I want to thank Joy for allowing me to be on The View longer than I was in the White House.
You can thank the EPs. You can thank the people who are in charge of the show. I'm not in charge of the show.
You're not in charge of the show? You're part of the resistance?
I'm part of the La Resistance, yes. And also, I think when women avoid sex, and men are like sick of that. But what are we going to do? We don't want to do it all the time.
Well, they want us to carry babies, and then give birth to the babies, then feed the babies, then raise the babies, but they want to have sex at like all the time.
I know.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Right? It's too much.
Only 2 women agreed with you.
That is an intractable problem, I think, with women.
And apparently we never explain what we want.
I demand what I want.
I was going to say, everybody knows
They're
what I
not
want.
talking about this panel.
Clearly.
What is this?
All right, we got to go. On that note, we'll be right back with Diane.
Hey guys, it's Amy and Rory.
Yeah, and we're here to hang with the ladies and talk about our new movie, I Feel Pretty.
That's right, and in the movie, I play an insecure woman. I fall down, I hit my head, I wake up. I think I'm just the most beautiful girl.
That's my line.
I'm in the movie.
In the movie, I Feel Pretty, Amy Schumer plays an insecure woman who gets knocked unconscious, yeah. But she wakes up feeling like she's God's gift to all men. Sound familiar, ladies? It leaves her co-star Rory Scovel a little lost at the laundromat. Take a look. Please welcome Amy Schumer and Rory Scovel.
These chairs.
They're a little.
Come on. Well, I need a
difficult.
team of experts to get me in. Hi, ladies.
So, Amy,
Hi.
congratulations on all the
Thank you.
success you've been having. I mean,
Thanks.
it's fantastic. And in this movie, you play somebody who has high self-esteem. Of course, you had to get hit in the head, right?
I know. Yeah. There was
But anyway, you, Amy, seem to have a high self-esteem also. You're posing.
Can you believe it?
Yeah, you're posing on lots of magazines. I appreciate that about you. I admire it. Have you always been like that?
My parents did a really good job of straight up lying to me as a child. Like when I was really young, they were like, "You're the most beautiful girl in the world," and I was like, "I am."
Mine did too, but I didn't have it.
It didn't. No. Yours just put a bag over your head. See,
Mine did.
I think it's good, but then kids say mean things, and your confidence, it gets chipped away. So this movie's all about getting back to that little girl confidence that you had before.
We need it.
Yeah.
Do you think it's different when men versus women look in the mirror, what they see?
I have a joke about this, but it really is true. I noticed that the guys that I had dated, they all have a mirror face, where when they look in the mirror, they're like a normal guy, but then in the mirror, they're just kind of like. Right? And then my mirror face is just kind of like, welp,
Do you have a mirror face? Can you show us your mirror face?
Come on, Rory.
I also will do this.
What a sweetie.
Now, in your stand-up, you're known for doing characters like the Southern bro and the German dude. What do you think those guys would think when they look in the mirror?
I mean, I think if I'm going to do this guy, if this guy's looking in the mirror, and you can do it too, do your Southern. I'm gonna look in the mirror, probably eyebrows pretty high up, not so different from what Amy said about that kind of eyes.
I can cover it.
I sometimes do my eyebrows so high and eyes so low that I'm not actually even seeing myself. I'm not imagining what I think I look like, and then I go out into the world.
I love the movie, by the way. I had so much fun. I was laughing. But there's been this weird backlash, I think.
Can you imagine that I got backlash on the internet?
You got this weird backlash
First
because...
First time for everything.
Right?
Weird.
I was like,
Crazy.
and the backlash was people were saying, well, your character is a blonde of healthy weight who's attractive, and you're supposed to make us believe that you're ugly. How do you respond to that?
First of all, that's the nicest backlash I've ever heard.
Too pretty.
No, it just made me excited for people to see the movie, because it's not about an ugly, vile troll getting beautiful. It's about a girl who really struggles with self-esteem.
Yes,
which is something we can all relate to.
Yeah.
So it just made me excited for people to see the movie. But also, I think it is fair to say that that it's a lot harder for other people. And I recognize that I am a Caucasian. I would love if this movie were starring a woman of color who's had it way harder than me. And I hope that we get there. This is hopefully just a step in the right direction.
Yeah. You are, in fact, a newlywed. You got married in February. So Chris Fisher is his name.
Chris Fisher,
but the thing about it, and we talked about it in Hot Topics, you really didn't know him very long. A few months, was it?
No, it was longer than that. I did see you guys talk about that in Hot Topics, and I really appreciate what everybody said, but thank you. You know that I'm not like a fool. I'm not like impulsive like that. We have known each other for about a year now, and we'd been living together already for 6 months. So, you know, it's not a long courtship, but it's
years.
Right, but it's not like we had a great weekend in Vegas and like threw in the you know.
Babies in the future? I mean, it's a rude question, I think.
Is it a rude question?
It's kind of rude, yeah.
I don't know. I think it's rude to be like, do you have your period? Which I don't. I'm wearing a white skirt. It's like, don't ever give me this. Don't give me this in 2 weeks. But but no, yeah, I hope so. Maybe if we're lucky enough.
That'd be great.
You know?
That'd be great.
Not right now. Not while I'm here.
Now, Rory, you are married as well, but you also have a daughter. What kind of dad are you?
I'm not great. I'm okay. I'm like an okay dad. My wife knows what she's doing, and I think it's a little bit of maternal instincts mixed with the fact that she's willing to do research on how to be a parent.
Yes.
I'm just kind of winging it. Yeah. When she sends me an article to read to be like, hey, we should think about this with discipline, I'm like, it's cheating. Let's kind of learn organically. And it's just because I just don't want to read anything.
You know, I just thought of something for you, Amy, because they wanted me to ask you if you're going to change your name, but then your name would be Amy Fisher.
Yeah. I'm really not trying to be the Long Island
Remember
Lily.
Joey Buttafuoco? Amy Fisher.
So no Amy Fisher.
I'm sorry. Yes, no Amy Fisher. And also, I don't know. I think times are changing. I think it would be. I would feel really strange taking my husband's name. Like it's like Handmaid's Tale, like of Chris.
It's weird when people start calling you a different last name. I took my husband's last name.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm like, who are you talking
How
to?
about this? How about this? I have my first husband's last name because my actual maiden name is too hard to spell.
Well, that's crazy.
So then I got married again, and I still have my first husband's last name.
Yeah, I think you should choose your own.
It's crazy because I had already been in the business with that name. I couldn't change it.
Yeah.
I mean, really, Joy Okudo Janowitz. That's my name.
Wow. Well, then stick with Behar.
What'd you say? Can I ask you a serious question?
Always.
You've been very vocal about gun control and recently spoke at the LA March for Our Lives, which was a great thing. So I have a two-part question here. What do you think we should do in this country? And since you're speaking out politically, it basically divides your audience very often. How do you feel about that?
I miss making twice the money I was making. Yeah. That was cool.
Yeah, that's true.
But I'm like you, like, if I could hold my tongue, I would. I have to stand up for what I know is right. And thank you. Don't clap. Send me money. Send me
Sometimes things are bigger.
It's bigger than myself. When you ask what we do, we need sensible gun laws. But the thing is, when you say I just don't think somebody who's severely mentally ill should be able to get a gun. Domestic who's on the terrorist shouldn't be able to get a gun. And they are able to. What the NRA, and there are great NRA members who want sensible gun laws, but what the people at the very top, business for them. So what they have trained their consumers to hear is, she's saying she wants no one to have guns. And you can't, you literally can't break through to them. But
very hard.
What these kids in Parkland is more change than I thought I would see in my lifetime.
It's good.
Wonderful.
And the children will save us.
Yes, they will. We need to be looking to them because they're
their world.
Yeah.
So thanks for coming by. Thank you to Amy.
Movements making a difference in Hollywood. Shocking reality next.
I've had guys, I'll say, hi, welcome. What can I do for you? What can I get for you? And they'll just say, show me your. Would you walk into an office and say that to somebody?
A veteran waitress says every week for 20 years, she's tried to smile because she needs the money for her kids.
Hello? Hello?
And from all across the country, a torrent of voices asking us to tell their story too.
The Me Too and Time's Up movements were the hot topic in Hollywood during award season, but is it doing anything to help regular women in the workplace? We're getting a special report right now from the one and only Diane Sawyer. been working tirelessly on this for the last 6 months, and you spoke to real working average women, waitresses, truck drivers, about their particular experiences with sexual harassment. What did you find?
We think we know everything. Wait until you hear their stories. And again, these are such inspiring women. This is about a conversation to have together about solutions and what we all do together. And I was so struck by the fact that in every different industry, they just want the same thing. They just want to be able to go to work, support their families, have dignity, and not be afraid.
And the women the ones you spoke with, do they feel they're being represented by the Time's Up and the Me Too movements?
You know, they are so grateful. We're all in this together, right? And they are so grateful to the brave women who spoke up first, the women in Hollywood. They have absolutely no feeling that they shouldn't have done it or that they've been left behind. They just want to make sure we hear their stories too. And we all feel the same way. We want to make it matter. What if we've gone through 7 months of all this conversation and it doesn't matter? And we don't have things that make a difference in the lives of the country and these women.
You know, I always put my lawyer hat on when I hear these stories, and I know that the average woman just doesn't have the time or the money to pay for lawyers. They don't have a social media following. What are the solutions for these women?
Well, you're going to be surprised, I think, at some of the things. Like, for instance, the housekeepers in hotels, and I should have known their stories, but I hadn't thought about it until I talked to them. Housekeepers say a small thing, a little panic button in your pocket, just a little panic button that can alert somebody to come into the room. It changes your life and your sense of being valued. And then there are so many other ideas out there, and men who are coming forward. And I think you may be surprised at some of the men who say, this is our fight. That it's not America unless this is our fight too, and they are coming forward and saying, we're right here.
Yeah, the movement is raising their consciousness too, I think, and that's good.
Yes.
And as you say, the housekeepers are in a very, very precarious position. The door is shut, you're in a room.
Well, and the truckers, you know, there are 63,000 available jobs, and these women want them so badly because they pay well and they can help you reach your dream. And yet a lot of them have switchblades, and they have in their cabins, they're afraid. They're just afraid. And so what we can do for them tomorrow is really the question we're asking tonight.
But you know, many of the women you spoke to were fearful that they would be fired if they spoke out, and yet they spoke to you.
Yes, and some of them are on camera, some of them you just see parts of their faces, some of them are too afraid for that, and you see that some of them we just have to tell you what they said. But they're amazing bravery in coming forward, and I say it again. I think I heard you all talking earlier, and I think in a way we are having one conversation. We just haven't focused it solutions. And then everything changes tomorrow.
Which makes this so unique. That I love that you're talking about solutions. You said that the men really want to be part of the solution. What kind of ideas are they particularly bringing to the table?
Well, most of all, they're just saying, if I speak up with you, and you're going to see what happens in one workplace tonight. If I say, I saw that. And you know, in a huge percentage of the cases, somebody saw it. Somebody felt it, somebody heard something. And it's in some ways as simple as coming forward and saying, no, I saw it. And that doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen when you're prosecuting cases either. Witnesses, and as you mentioned, people usually are there, but bystanders very rarely want to get involved, especially in the workplace. Perhaps if there's a law put in place that would shield some of these people from...
Well, you know, we also whistleblowers too.
Well, we had a lot of men across the country saying, locker room talk? No. Men's talk? No. No. No more.
What's the most shocking thing you learned while doing this?
Oh, dear. I think the most startling thing was simply what it is to be out of the spotlight and not have your voice heard. And what is it to be out there alone dealing with this and being in that moment where you feed your children or you do what your boss is saying to do, and you'll lose your job and you'll lose your apartment. And again, when you go back to that moment and you see their enormous courage, and how much they love their families, their work, and how big a heart they have for everyone in America just to do this together.
Yeah. Well, it's going to require a real cultural change, right? A real change in culture, because we talk about this on the show all the time. There are women that can walk away from their job if they're not getting paid the same as a man, or they're being harassed. But these women that you spoke to, it's a difference between being able to feed their children or not.
And again, I think that all of this 7 months, everybody here, if we start talking about some solutions, specific solutions in different workplaces, they would be so grateful if we turn the attention to them and these solutions.
And what else are you working on? You always have things coming down the pipe that are interesting.
We love Diane. We can't get enough of you, Diane.
Not sleep.
I have another hour I'm working on right now, and it's about many things, but in part the anxiety among young people in this country.
Wow. Financial anxiety?
No, just the anxiety of the day.
Oh, Diane, we can't wait. We hear this is some of your finest work. We want to encourage everyone to tune into Diane Sawyer, My Reality, A Hidden America. It airs on a special edition of 2020 tonight at 10 p.m. on ABC. Diane, thank you.
Thank you. All of you.
We'll be right back.
With Feel Good Fridays on View Your Deal. So we partner with vendors for at least half off while supplies last. So let's get shopping with lifestyle expert and my good friend Greta Monahan.
Hi, I love Feel Good Fridays with you.
I love this.
Kicking it off with Spatty. So when you reach the end of the bottle and you can't get the rest out, use Spatty. And you can use it in the bathroom with your cosmetics. You can use it in the kitchen for your condiments, anything that has a bottle, and also your kids' crafts. You will save tons of money here because you are going to get probably up to a third of extra product that gets lost in the
and I add water to it,
container.
And that ruins the product sometimes.
You can't do it, you
can't add water.
These are amazing. Original price on these $5.50 to $11. Today's deal, save tons of money and only spend $2.50 to $5. That's savings of 55%. Okay, Manicotti, I love this. So this is assorted home and body care. But here's the thing, they create earth-friendly products for home and body. They're made of essential oils, which you're gonna go crazy with the scents. But here's the thing that is so feel good. Labeling and packaging is handled by a company called Pride.
Okay.
And this is an organization that provides work and enrichment programs for adults with developmental and intellectual disabilities.
Oh,
so
that's
what
great.
they do is so cool. Yes, they get them to work and they love it. Now, the watercolor artwork that you see, all of this packaging, and look at how beautiful it is, you guys, is actually inspired by the adults that work at Pride. Okay, she's going crazy. This collection is the whipped collection. Body, all right, so one for shower and one for body moisturizer. She's having a lot of fun. You do not need that much. You need a tiny bit, okay?
You might need that much.
This little kit, this is a Mom's Day alert kit. Original price on these, don't miss them, $20 to $57. Today's deal, $10 to $28.50
Oh,
for
that's
a set. Michael Todd Beauty Devices. Okay, I started using Michael Todd several years ago when I did a project for them, so I fell in love with them.
Yeah.
But you get the most out of your skincare products with these multi-purpose devices. Sonic Blend is an antimicrobial makeup brush. So what that's going to do is blend you flawlessly, no matter what makeup you use. Liquid, powder, everything, blush. It's incredible. What I love about it is it also saves on so much product because you only need a fraction. Now what you have is the Sonic Clear. That's a cleanser for your skin.
And it's an exfoliator.
Keeps your skin super clean and amazing and glowing. Original price on these, $79 to $89. Today's deal, $39.50 each. For a savings of 50 to 56% off. Deborah Lippman, nail lacquers and treatments. Take a look at this assortment. It's huge. She is the go-to manicures for celebrities, from fashion shows to magazine covers. First thing,
colors.
the Gel Lab Pro collection I love. It's a healthy alternative to gel nails because there's no UV lamps, there's no damage, nothing. So you can use that. And also the rest of her polishing colors are amazing. Biggest assortment yet. Original price on these, $12 to $59. Today's deal, $6 to $29.50 plus free shipping. Yes! Okay.
You got me at free shipping.
MD,
I love
assorted zinc. Okay, so we love Dr.
stuff.
Perricone because he's an award-winning
He's a
dermatologist,
doctor.
but he also does a cruelty-free line, which I love. Never tested on animals, created with care. You have your no makeup concealer, which I brought you with SPF 50. You've got your cold plasma collection, which is an overnight game changer. Face finishing moisturizer leaves your skin beautiful, and a great men's care line because our men need love too.
Because they have
for their
skin too.
Original price $35 to $290. Today's deal, $17.50 to $145 plus free shipping. That's an amazing deal. Okay, Luxie Beauty, makeup brushes, individuals and sets. Luxie makes high-quality, cruelty-free makeup brushes, and it is amazing. They look incredible in your bag. Eyeshadows, contouring. That kit is a pro kit, but beginners and pros can use this. These are the softest brushes you'll ever find or use. Original price on these, $18 to $350. Deal today, $9 to $175. Half off for me and you.
Well, and don't people say for beauty, you always got to get the right brushes.
Absolutely, because that makes the game changer.
A big thank you to Greta Monahan. The clock is ticking. You have 24 hours to grab any of these exclusive deals at viewyourdeal.com. And members of the audience are going home with skincare from Terracone MD and a tool from Spatty. Have a great day, everyone, and
take a little time to enjoy